You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?
What's happening, YouTube? I'm in the building with the homie James, my partner in reviewing superhero movies.
Yeah.
And we just got out of Ant-Man Quantumania. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very disappointed. But it ain't all about me. I'm Lamont Tyson. Please subscribe, download the podcast, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. James, you are a big fan of MODOK, and you just seen MODOK on the big screen for the first time. You've seen what Marvel put together for us to start Phase 5. How did this movie make you feel?
I will never forgive them for what they did to MODOK.
Damn. Just damn.
I can't. It was, cardinal sin. I cannot forgive them for what they did to MODOK in this one. Not only did they make him a goofy character, everything about now. I think MODOK is supposed to be kind of goofy looking, but they ran with that. So not only does he look not threatening, goofy, somebody, you want to laugh at him, but then he wasn't even good at his job. They tried to even make you, and I know you want to make him sound scary, he'll be a threat, and then you see him and you're like laughing, but it's not even like they showed him, they're like, he's a killing machine, but you didn't see him successfully do anything.
He's supposed to be a killing machine. Did he even kill an ant?
I don't think so. No.
I mean, the type of killing machine that wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight is what MODOK was.
I mean, he crashed a ship, but he worked awful hard to do that. It took him a while to crash a single ship.
And he's harassing children.
Right.
He kept chasing Cassie all over this whole damn movie.
Right. And keep in mind, Cassie, who we're led to believe is completely untrained in killing, lost a fight against MODOK.
A killing machine.
I will never forgive them. And yet he was still only the second most useless character in this movie as far as killing things.
Oh, look, hold on, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be funny. I know what he's going to say. Now, for those of you that don't know what the story is all about, basically, Scott Lang and his family get sucked into the quantum realm. Michelle Pfeiffer, who looks wonderful at her age, plays a role where she didn't tell the family what the hell was going on in the quantum realm. They get sucked in there and they run into Kang. In the beginning of the story, you see her and Kang together, and then they go into the history and the backstory of how Kang came to be, how she left him down there and he didn't want to be down there. And now we're just pretty much going to trash this movie, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to trash it. And James is going to tell y'all something in this movie that was more useless than the way they portrayed MODOK. And what was that, James?
Kang has an army.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get it.
Yep.
He's trying to rebuild an empire. He has an army of these blue-faced soldiers, and I don't know how else to describe them. It was like a blue screen was their faces.
This is his blue foot soldiers.
Yeah, blue foot soldiers. They have laser weapons, and these soldiers are less effective than MODOK, and I think you pointed out that they're less effective than the putties on Power Rangers. If the putties had laser weapons, they would have been a threat. These guys weren't a threat, and they had laser weapons. If you saw Star Wars and you thought to yourself, these stormtroopers are useless, well, that crown has now been taken. I don't know. They may have successfully shot somebody, but they went down so easily. And you're going to have, when you see it, you're going to have like 5 different scenes of 2 of these blue soldiers like escorting somebody to a prison cell and never successfully making it to their destination. Yeah. Because they are always taken out by the person they're escorting. It's not like somebody sneaks up behind and attacks them. The person they're escorting always takes out 2 or 3 of them simultaneously. Yeah. It happens every time. They are worse than MODOK, who, once again, it's unforgivable what they did to him. There were things in this movie I liked.
Okay. What'd you like?
I liked Kang.
Okay.
They successfully, if you saw everything with Thanos, it was hard to think, how could you make a villain that is potentially more dangerous and scarier than Thanos?
Right.
They did that. They opened the potential. I wanted to see twice as much Kang because I came out of this saying, okay, this guy might actually be more damaging to existence itself than Thanos was. They did pull that off. I wanted to see twice as much of him, and this should have been a Kang the Conqueror movie, not an Ant-Man movie.
Oh, man.
Please share what you're thinking.
As James talks about how useless his foot soldiers were, I'm gonna just give y'all the most harsh analogy for how useless their asses was. Their asses was as useless as a man without a penis going to a brothel. They was that useless.
And that character may have been in the movie. There was a lot going on in there.
He was in the movie.
Oh, but who defeated Kang? We didn't even go into who defeated Kang's army. Here's how useless it'll be. Who defeated Kang's trained soldiers carrying laser weapons? Who defeated them? Do you remember who defeated them?
Hank Pym and his ants.
The ants.
Yep.
Yes, I guess that's poetic justice, but the freaking ants, the not battle-trained ants, easily wiped out.
Not only did they wipe out the useless foot soldiers, but they took down Kang too. Now, I got a problem with that.
Yeah, that was a misfire.
Kang is supposed to be the next threat that's got to be bigger and badder and more menacing than Thanos. And your ass got beat by some fucking ants. Ants with tech now, okay? We got to make sure we preface that.
Yep.
Ants with tech. Ants with tech.
Yep.
So that happened, ladies and gentlemen. Beyond that, the acting was fine.
Okay, yeah. I'll agree to that.
And I think I have to preface this by telling y'all, I'm not a fan of the Ant-Man series. I'm a fan of Paul Rudd, but I'm not a fan of the Ant-Man series. And they continue to try to put humor in the story, and the humor wasn't landing with me that much. Maybe one or two was landing.
You know, and I will say that it could have been much worse, but thank God for Bill Murray.
Yeah. Are you serious?
No.
What the hell was the point of Bill Murray?
They just stuck him in there. Like,
come on. Like, Bill Murray is a legend, and you put him in there for 2 minutes to get eaten up by the damn octopus that was in his hot tea?
Yeah, I don't know who wasted more time in this. Did they waste Bill Murray's time, or did Bill Murray waste our time? Because his scene was useless. There was nothing about his scene other than giving her a reason to say, oh, yes, I've been lying to you. You know, Michelle Pfeiffer. Bill Murray's, you put him in the wrong movie in the wrong part. There are better uses for your Bill Murray.
Did you like how Cassie kept going at her daddy, really not giving him a break for the time he was gone? And I'm going to tell you something that got me a little hot about the MCU.
Yes.
Okay. We saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
On the Disney Plus series, right? Remember
right.
that? And have you noticed how all these Avengers, now that they're heroes, they've saved the world, some of them have no problem making money, getting things for free, Scott Lang, but then poor old Sam ass Wilson can't even get a damn loan for a shovel to shovel snow out of the damn driveway. Come on, Mal. What is it, James? Dare I use the R word?
I have no response to that. I mean, it's you should have multiple people looking out for exactly that sort of inconsistency, and
I mean,
there's no excuse for that.
Scott Lang was being picked on. He was called Spider-Man, but he still was getting his coffees and shit for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no explanation for that other than different writers, different showrunners, but no, there's a lot of stuff inconsistent in this.
And the back and forth with do you felt like the daughter was being fair to him, because his whole life was his daughter. You know, he wanted to be there for his daughter. He wanted to show his daughter love. When it came down to the very end with him standing in between Kang getting through and coming up to the real world, the only thing he was worried about was his daughter.
All right, so it's not completely out of place with him starting with the first movie that he constantly talked about his daughter, but it did come out of nowhere. It was unearned, and because they've had to age up the daughter again, simply put, we had to make a lot of our own leaps in logic and fill in our own gaps because they aged her up. So we don't even know this daughter.
Yeah.
You know, last time we saw her, she was young. we don't know this
we
character.
actually like the other actress playing the other daughter. I mean, I'm not saying this girl did bad.
Oh, no.
But we already had invested in the other actress. But I get they had to age her up in that whole thing.
Yeah, but, we didn't know her prior to for that reason, we didn't know her prior to this movie because she's grown up. She's just a different person, different character, happens to have the same name. Mm-hmm. The actress did fine, and all the acting really was fine.
All the acting was great. Overall, the story to me wasn't that good. I didn't like the way. What's the best way for me to put this? Janet. No, Hope Van Dyne. Mm-hmm. Did she even need to be in this movie?
They gave her moments, but no, that you could have worked around it.
And didn't you feel like her daddy should have kicked the bucket?
Yes. Oh, yeah. We needed, possibly both of them because Kang had a personal issue with Janet. Mm. But Hank Pym definitely, when he came in with his army of ants to defeat Kang the Conqueror, Kang should have just one shot killed him.
And the useless foot soldiers. Yeah, he should have done that.
Yeah.
So, let's tell the people there are 2 post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
One, you're going to see... And by the way, this is a spoiler, so I'm going to put this is clearly on the thumbnail as a spoiler. First one, you're going to see the beginning of the Kang Dynasty as they get ready to move into the Avengers 2025 Kang Dynasty. James, did that first post-credit excite you at all?
Yes.
Okay.
I liked what they did with that. They didn't do much, but it led to this really is a threat.
Yeah.
That something is coming and something big is coming and bigger than Thanos, frankly.
Right. The fact that they can control time, they can be anywhere at the same time, and the fact that they have ways to fracture this timeline makes them a greater threat than Thanos does. So that will keep them there. And so you guys are going to see a whole arena full of Kangs, hence the Kang Dynasty. Yeah. And then you're going to see one King Tut Kang, then you're going to see another Kang, and these 3 Kangs you're going to see are going to be the ones that are going to be the leaders of all these Kangs in this dynasty.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, you get another post-credit that really got me excited to get you guys ready for season 2 of Loki. You got to see Loki. You got to see the Kang, He Who Remains, back when he was just getting started on Earth. And then you had Owen Wilson, who will be returning back to season 2 of Loki, watching this Kang, and I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
How'd that one make you feel?
It's a good use of your Loki, and it was a nice way to end the movie after everything else we had to sit through.
Oh, God. So, having said all those things, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to give this movie a ranking. Should you wait for it to come on Disney Plus, or should you go spend your hard-earned money in the theater? And before I let James give it a rank, I'm going to tell you this. It is a Friday night. It was a 7:30 presentation. And ladies and gentlemen, if this is any precursor to how this movie is going to do, I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. Literally, there was only 10 people in our movie theater on a Friday night to see a Marvel movie the first night it drops. That is an absolute horrible sign. And we're at one of the biggest theaters in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
James, where do you put what is your ranking 0 to 10 for this movie?
They earned that 3. They worked hard for that 3.
Wow.
And I give it a solid 3. There were good things. 3 of them. Your turn.
Ladies and gentlemen, golly, I don't think I've ranked anything this low except for the Eternals. I'm gonna give this movie a 5.
Really?
And it only gets a 5 because I love Jonathan Majors in this movie.
Okay.
And I did love Michelle Pfeiffer in this movie. Everything else, I didn't. The movie could have been about Jonathan Majors, Kang, and Michelle Pfeiffer's Janet.
Yeah.
It could have been.
We didn't even need Ant-Man. It could have been all of everything they went through together before this movie would have taken place.
100%. And it could have been Janet and the ants.
Yeah.
You know.
And that would have been fine.
Because she didn't need any help with them damn foot soldiers that I mean, they couldn't hit nothing.
No.
They couldn't do nothing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Stay home and wait.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It's definitely not worth your money. Stay home and wait. Our auditorium that only had 10 people, and those 10 people you knew was hardcore nerds,
Yeah.
are the only ones that showed up. Any closing remarks, James? Does this make you fearful for Phase 5, or you think it can only get better from here?
There are enough great Marvel movies that I know we're going to have more pretty good ones.
Okay.
And there are things in this movie that if you're going to see future Marvel movies, you need to see at least some parts of this movie. But mostly you can miss it.
Yeah. You need to see some parts, but that don't mean you need to see it in the theater.
No.
Stay your ass at home and wait for Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. I'm Lamont Tyson. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and the TikTok. Download the podcast. James, are you going to come with me to see Guardians?
Oh, yeah.
You going to do this thing all
I think so. I always enjoy those movies. I really do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back reviewing Cocaine Teddy Bear next week. So come check me out then. And until that next Sex is Hell video, we out of here.